your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Hurricane Dorian creating the atmosphere for continued dialogue on climate change and its effects. Recently, the Bishop Michael Eldon High School hosted an eco-science seminar under the theme, The Pathway to a Sustainable Grand Bahama. Various experts and environmentalists were invited to speak to the youngsters.
I was the first speaker on marine and coasts, and then the third presentation I did on global climate change.
This was an opportunity for us to share a little bit about some of the issues that arise after a hurricane. And so most recently, obviously, Hurricane Dorian. So we would have touched on some of the environmental issues and hazards that happen after hurricanes. We would have touched on some of the structural damages to public infrastructure that would normally happen, unfortunately, sometimes after an hurricane.
Today I was here to speak with the students at BMES and to just share with them a little bit about the project that I've just started, which is to start recycling plastic bottles. And so we discussed global warming and the fact that we need to start recycling these bottles simply because it takes over 500 years for these bottles to break down. Many of us are drinking them and we're just putting them into the landfill. And over the years, that's not going to work. And we've seen through Hurricane Dorian the effects of global warming.
These students share the knowledge they gained.
You know, that isn't only really the theme for the day. It should be a lifestyle for all Bahamians because our archipelago is hurting every time that we throw a plastic bottle on the floor, throw Burger King, KFC out our windows. That's one step towards a less favorable future for future generations.
We need to find a sustainable way to deal with plastic bottles, and that way is recycling them. Our school has been recycling these plastic bottles for about a month now, and we've gotten a lot of plastic bottles, some interesting things, and we're just happy that they're taking the initiative to actually make a difference.
Students at the Bishop Michael Eldon School among those flying high in national exams. Jamila Missick highlights this group in tonight's edition of Making the Grade.
The Bishop Michael Eldon Warriors are among those making good grades in the national examinations. Fourth grader Janvi Bomanini passed 8 GLAD exams with all A's. She says her mother and her teacher, Ms. Bullard, were a big part of her doing so well in her examinations as they helped her to prepare.
I had a GLAD book at home, so she took some pages and told me to do them. And afterwards, if I got them wrong, she would explain to me how to do it. If I don't get something at school, my mom would help me. But if I don't get something at my house, Miss Bullard would help me.
The 8-year-old says she aspires to become a family doctor and she enjoys going to school.
My favorite part about school is learning. As everybody doesn't know everything in the world, so every day you learn something new. That's what I like about school.
10th grader Gianna Malabanan passed 9 BJCs and she's proud of herself. Gianna says doing well means applying yourself.
Most of us kids, we like to go on our phones a lot. So in order to really study and take in the knowledge, I advise to take away all the distraction, such as social media. And just to stay focused. Oh, and also to make a study schedule, which is really helpful because you don't want to be all over the place and study this and then not study the other subjects. You have to make time for each and every subject and make sure that you learn every lesson that is expected to be in the BJC.
William Moss, a 12th grader at BMES, sat 9 BGCSEs in the 11th grade and is now preparing to sit advanced placement exams in several subjects.
I'm also right now studying more in literature so I could make up for not taking that BGCSE. I am also I'm also aspiring for my own goals. For example, I'm aiming to go to MIT, so I definitely need to increase my portfolio. So I'm studying extra courses such as SAT Physics, SAT Chemistry. I'm improving my SAT score. Currently I have a 1450. And I'm also doing more stuff to better myself to be more college ready.
The aspiring computer scientist says he believes sitting the BGCSEs helped him to prepare for his AP examinations.
I could say, as somebody who traveled to America and met other American students, that BGCSEs are a good stepping stone or a good honors program to ready yourself for more college classes. Since I took BGCSE physics, I'm already know some of the knowledge and know some of the courses that they took. For example, I already know Hooke's law, I already know the forces. So because of that, I'm able to do better in the exam and study much less as of someone who just entered the physics world.
Williams says BGCSEs are a stepping stone to bettering yourself toward the future. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Jamila. Jay Philippe is here and he's talking sports. What's coming up, Jay?
Well, it's college basketball season and a number of Grand Bahamians are doing exceptionally well at the NCAA collegiate level. So we'll talk about those guys.
All right, stay close. Jay Philippe is up next with sports.